Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today we're going to talk about getting out of your comfort zone. You know, comfort zone is an interesting thing. We have so many goals, so many ideas, so many thoughts about who we can be or what we can be in terms of being our best self. But we are limited by either our own thoughts or people have put us in a place where they're so used to recognizing us to who they knew that sometimes you look to other people to find your own identity. And that limits you from breaking out because we all have the ability to be so much more, to be all that we can be, all that we want to be. You know, when it comes to comfort zone, I don't know if it's fear or what it is that stops you from advancing more. Personally, I think it is people that are around you that you love and respect. They know you a certain way, and I think they're a bit uncomfortable when you start to grow beyond the person that they thought they knew. But you really have to set all that aside, because then it almost becomes you're living your life for them, for their comfort zone. Believe me, if you become the person that you want to be, not only do you not need people as much, but you're with them or around them because you want to be. And they in turn actually end up treating you with a little more respect. So it's an interesting thing growing beyond your comfort zone and growing beyond the person, the limitations that others have put on you. It is breaking through and getting out of our comfort zone because we feel so comfortable being the person that we've always been. And others like it too because you're the person that they can always count on, always be the way they want you to be or the person they want you to be. But the truth is, in life, to fully live, I believe you've got to be your best self. And I think to be your best self, you've got to take all your dreams, all your goals, and know that they can be a reality. And don't let what others think about you hold you back in any way, shape, or form. Because the truth is, when you become the person that you were meant to be, and that is being your best self, you don't need their opinion so much. You love them because you love them, but it doesn't matter what they think about you. The only thing that matters is what you think about you. And to be honest with you, I think part of enjoying life is striving for goals and reaching those milestones. And as I mentioned in an earlier episode, climbing the rung on the ladder. And when you reach where you think you should be or where you think you want to be, there's always further to go. But don't do it for anyone else. Do it for you. I know even myself, when I was going to attempt to do something, it meant not being in contact with the people that were kind of what I felt to be my lifeline. And it's a uncomfortable feeling. I mean, you hear stories all the time about people who have substance abuse or any other addiction, that when they start to get better, and it doesn't matter what it is, but sometimes when people start to get better, it's a very uncomfortable feeling for them because it's not a familiar feeling. And so I think whether it be striving for success or being happier or buying your first house or whatever it is, even though it can be very happy, very lifting, it is out of people's comfort zone, and it is a little bit unfamiliar. And that in itself, it's interesting because you would think when you start to achieve where you want to be, what you want to do, you would think feeling would be just happiness, excitement. But there is a bit of an uncomfortable feeling with it until you learn that when you become your own person, when you work hard to be what you want to be and you are who you want to be, and you're more confident, people are still there. In fact, they want to be around you even more. You're around them because you want to be, not because you have to be, not because you're not feeling good about yourself. So you need their approval and things. But it's interesting because people actually treat you with more respect when you become an individual. And breaking through your comfort zone is part of what makes you an individual. You being you being your best self, you finding your talent, you finding your happiness. Sometimes it's not even a career goal. Sometimes it's not even anything that you want to be successful at, other than doing something, whether it be a physical movement, whatever it is. Doesn't matter how big or how small it is. There's almost an invisible wall that comes up. Now, would you call it fear? Would you call it your comfort zone? I would say it's probably a little bit of both. And when you learn how to break through that, and I'm going to back up a bit, I think part of breaking through it is having the faith. I talked to you last episode about affirmations, and if you're going to do affirmation after affirmation is fine, but if you don't believe it, then you're simply giving lip service to yourself. So you can do an affirmation, doesn't matter how big, how small, but you have to believe it. That's a key in being successful, breaking down the barriers, getting out of your comfort zone, breaking through that wall, breaking through the fear, and that is believing. So an affirmation without faith is just void. But if you can believe, just always walk in the spirit of faith and know you're going to do it. And you will. Believe me, you will. And sometimes things don't go exactly how we envisioned it. And that's okay too, because if you have that faith, that knowing that everything works out for the best, no matter what direction things take, you know that that is the perfect direction for you, for whatever reason. As I mentioned earlier, I think life is a series of lessons. But thank goodness for those lessons because they make us grow. Sometimes people can't take the lessons, so they drown them out with various different things. And as hard as a lesson can be, it's good. It's what's making you a better person. It's what's making you grow. It's not always easy to accept that. It's not always easy to accept what's going on. But the longer that you live life in believing that everything is going the way it's supposed to go, that everything will work out the way it's supposed to, having faith in yourself, having confidence, keeping quiet and still inside so you can get the answers, the spiritual answers, whether it be prayer, meditation, however you get it. But it does take quieting yourself. And those thoughts that we get from our past, those are useless. They bring up emotions. They bring up something negative that happened in our past, and so we react to it. And we're reacting on a negativity day after day after day, sometimes 10 times a day. It depends on how often we let that thought come to us. So you've got to let those thoughts go. You've got to, as I said before, be empty inside. And I know, again, that sounds like something that you would almost be afraid to do, to be empty inside. But by being empty inside, you have a whole new slate. You have a clean slate. You're living in the moment. You're making new memories. You're being excited. You're loving fully. So I'm going to close by saying, let's not let fear stop us. Let's not let comfort zone stop us. Continue to be the best person that we can be, whatever our goal is. whatever makes us happy, whatever we want to achieve. But we got to be in the spirit of being positive and believing, not just saying affirmations or not just saying positive stuff, but believing it. And day by day, as you start to walk in faith and you see things unfold, it helps to increase your own faith. So day by day, we become better. But it starts with learning the little things, not to make them too complicated, not to have too much to think about. But the ironic thing about life and having a healthy, happy life is keeping it simple. And I know sometimes we get overwhelmed with what we hear, what we see, what we read. It sounds like you could spend most of your day learning how to live life, but that's not the truth. Keeping it simple, keep those thoughts of the past out. That in itself makes life simpler, is realizing you don't need to think about something that's already happened. We need to be in the present moment. And of course, have future goals, but don't dwell too much on the outcome that you want. Just recognize your goal and work toward it. If you like what you heard today, either on this episode or any of the others, I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to leave a review. Thank you. On that note, I say God bless you. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.